the home of inspiration every day.
Most people give up on themselves easily. You know the human spirit is powerful.
From news,
countries across the globe have been hit by the COVID-19 virus.
Views,
there's a global trend to see an increase in GBV incidences, specifically domestic violence.
Sports,
What's he say? It's a really good ball. It's Shabalala.
and music to inspire you every day. This is Vuka Online, your inspiration radio station.
Are we ready to start? Yes, I think so. Wow. Thank you very much for honoring us with your gift, Lee. You are on Lipstick Chronicles, Season 3. Hey, guess what? We are just so happy that we are able to host this season and focusing on youth. And here you are. And we're looking forward to talk to you. My name is Mvusy Songelwa, and I am the host. Just please feel free to engage. This is a platform where we celebrate women. We amplify their voices. We want to hear their stories, and just tell the world who you are. If someone would actually ask, why are we talking to Lee today as a young woman in South Africa, how would you respond?
I would say, coming from the background that I've come from, I used to stay in, they call it the Kasi, and now I am a business owner. And I would like to share my story so that maybe someone in the place that I lived in would also, maybe start seeing with my eyes and seeing the potential they have and maybe starting some movement of their own or business of their own. So yes, that's why I'm here today.
Yeah. What to be celebrated? Tell us more about your Kasi background.
So I am from an area called Alphindale, in Buffalo Flats, East London. I stayed there since I was 6 years old. I'm actually from Umtata, but I moved here at a young age. I went to George Randall High School, primary school as well. Graduated, went into the working environment, and I just felt like there was something in me that, didn't want to be held down by one possibility, My mind works. I need to think about 10 things at once. I can't just think about one thing and be in one area, And I realized that I'm very good with my hands. And, I just love making people feel good about themselves. And I thought, why not go into beauty? I love it. I enjoy it. And now I have my own business. And see where I can grow from here.
Wow, that's very nice. It's funny how some people and I've actually engaged with so many people who haven't found the schooling very exciting. They kind of like follow a particular profession and then they decide, no, that's not my style. I really want to be on my own.
Yeah, I feel like the school, not that it's a bad thing, but the schooling for me, I have a younger brother and I try and encourage him, he's 11. I try and encourage him to think independently, think like a boss more. Let me put it that way, instead of being sent out into the world and, you have to work in the system and you're unhappy and, that might work for some people, but not for everyone, And I feel like schools train you, you have to go out in the world and you have to further your studies and you have to work for this company, but it's actually not like that.
Yes, that's very important to talk to you today. In particular, what we see in South Africa with so much high employment. We are going to be talking to you shortly. Let's go for a break.
How do you know the life or personal coach you're about to work with is who they say they are? How do you know if they can do the job? At the Africa Board for Coaching, Consulting and Coaching Psychology, we can tell you. So, before you share your secrets and spend your money, check with us first. Visit www.abccccp.com or call us on 012-751-7608. The ABCCP, the professional body for coaches.
Welcome back, Lee. Yes, tell us more about the business. Tell us more about the business.
So I opened my business in 2022, end of 2022. I'm in the business industry now for 2 years. It's still a baby and I'm still learning a lot. But the woman that I meet in my business, because I'm a lash tech, I do microblading, so forth. And I meet a lot of women, a lot of personalities. It's very interesting. And I came by a woman now recently. I don't know if you maybe know her. Her name is Judy Jennings. She's the owner of Vodacom in Plata. I am so amazed by that woman, with all that she's accomplished, and yet she still carries herself with grace. And she treats us as if, we are not beneath her. She treats us as if we are on her level. You know what I mean? And that's what I love about her. And it's also encouraged me and made me also want to see what I can achieve in the future. And that's what I want other people to maybe look at me and see, that, wow, she's accomplished all of this. I can do it too. There's endless possibilities. And being in the entrepreneurial world, your mind is so open to so many new things, so many new thoughts. You're constantly on the move. What can I do next? What can I, whereas if you're in the working world, you're stuck in this one job. That's it. That's it.
We want to honor and celebrate Judy Jennings as we speak, because as we talk about our stories, which is
Yeah.
exactly why we want to talk to right now, is about the inspiration from other women,
Mm-hmm.
the mentorship, and how we see the other women influencing others to be who they are. So we want to actually really applaud in absentia Judy Jennings for, be that anchor for you or compass in terms
Yeah.
of the business. And sometimes we really do not tell our stories. Just talk to me about I've just now acknowledged Judy Jennings, but who else in your life
Mm.
has shaped the who you are right now?
Yeah.
The
It
woman.
started when I had just graduated from school. I have a best friend now. We have been friends for probably 13 years plus. And her mom, let me tell you, growing up, I obviously used to have sleepovers and all of the above. But I used to watch her mother. Her name's Colette Williams, and she basically also raised me, I can say. But she taught
Yes.
me that whatever I do in life, I must always put God first, always. And she was very steadfast in her faith. Listen, I'm still terrified of her till this day. And she'll always ask me, girl, why? And I'm like, ma'am, you have shaped me. And the way I see her
Yes.
carry herself is like nothing can shake her.
Yeah.
She's been through, I've never seen her cry. I've never seen her talk bad about anybody. And that really made me, you know, be the person I am today. I don't party, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I focus on my business, I focus, on my health. And so she's one of the ladies. And after that, I've moved to Johannesburg where I
Mhm.
met my cousins. Um, can I say their names on here or is it okay?
Oh, you're telling your story, my friend. This is your
Okay.
story.
Berenice, Lee, and Wendy, my three pillars. So they're much older than I am. And
Yes.
I used to be very hard on myself, thinking I should be further than I am now. Or maybe, I look at someone who's a doctor, one of my friends, they're a doctor, and I think I should be there. I should be doing that. What am I doing in my life? Then they will be like, hey, get it together. You can do
Yes.
this. And I watch them, they go about their lives, and each one of them, all of them have three different personalities. And I love that, they just come together so well. Wendy she is now the country,
That's okay. This is your space now. We want you to talk about you.
oh, yes, yes.
Let's talk about you.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, all that she's achieved already it's just wow. It makes me want to do. And she puts me in spaces, and she says, you can do this. She mentors
Yes.
me, and then my cousin Berenice, she's the fun one. She reminds me that
Mm.
no matter how serious life gets, you have to live your life. Lee is the very independent one. She has
Mm.
taught herself everything. She can do her own hair, her own makeup. She cooks, she
Mm.
cleans, she
Mm.
has her own house. She does everything herself. And then I aspire to be like that, and they're not
Mm.
selfish, they help me. They test me to new limits. They tell me like, Lee, you can do anything you want to do, literally. And
Mm.
so glad that I was surrounded with women like that, and after I moved back to East London, my sister had opened her business. So I also watched her, and she's got two kids and she does it all on her own. And I'm just like, wow, like, why can't I do it? And it
Yes.
really pushed me. And all the women's stories that I hear that come in and out of my shop, it's really, I look at an employee and an entrepreneur so differently now. It's
Yeah.
broadened my mindset. I've now, and ever since I've changed in that sense, I attract women now who want to uplift one another. And it's just, I'm like in awe, like I'm all still taking it in, and I'm just like, wow, like women are actually magnificent creatures. And
Mm-hmm.
I think to myself, I am also one of those. And when I was offered this platform, which I'm very grateful for, by the way, to tell my story, and I also read your page as well, and I was like, wow, like there are actually women out there who want to see other women thrive. So thank you as well for giving me this
There
platform.
is, yes, for me, what is standing out from what you have just said is how you are embracing a diversity of people,
Mhm.
that actually bring you to be who you are. You are able to kind of like take what serves you from different people to, you're not following just one person. That says a lot about you.
Thank you
Why
so
do
much.
you do that? Why do you do that?
Um, to be honest, when I was younger, I was bullied. I was,
Um,
my weight, or I used to have really bad acne, and, it really brought me down. And growing
yes.
up, I told myself that I wouldn't want someone else to feel the way I did. So hence my business. And soon I'll
Mm,
be venturing into health as well, because I feel like you can achieve a lot if you look and feel amazing. And I
yes.
would
Yes.
like to be the cause of that. And it
Mm,
doesn't matter what I've ventured into. I have tried the accounting, I've tried nothing, nothing. It always brings me back to the human body, let me just put it that way, and making someone feel good about themselves. That's why I think I love my job so much.
wow. I
Yeah.
like the fact that you have actually started to do business
Yeah.
that is making others feel good, which comes from a pain of being silent.
Yes.
Just in a few minutes, let's get into that.
Okay, no problem.
When you were bullied, what happened?
Um, do you
And
mean like
why, if you think, I know that you had acne or whatever, but just give us some glimpse of
um,
what you went through.
I think I was always compared, you know, why don't you look like this girl? Or why is your skin like this? Or those are not things I could answer as a young girl, you know. And so I would beat
Yes,
myself up and I would be like, but why am I like this? What like
yes,
and I went through extensive treatments that, you know, took a toll on my body, all to look beautiful instead of embracing who I was, you know, with all
yes.
my flaws, etc., you know. And it's only taken me to go through all that now to know that I was perfectly fine. You know, some people they pick on you and I actually like it when people pick on me now because then I know that there's something about me that they want, you know, but within themselves there's a problem. So they pick
Yes.
on you so that they can bring you down with them. Yeah, understand?
Yeah.
And there's so many ladies that come into my shop and they have skin issues, and I'm like, but why are you bringing yourself down like that? You know, your body, it tries to keep you alive every day. You just need to
Mm,
take care of it, you know. That's why I
mm.
don't drink and I don't splurge in all these things, is because my body for me is a temple. You know, if I get
Yeah.
pimples, it's my body just trying to tell me something is wrong and I need to fix it. I don't see myself
Wow.
as ugly anymore or as too skinny or as too. I am my own unique person and I would like everyone to know that about themselves, you know. So if someone is in my space and they're like, oh, I'm so fat, I'm like, it's okay, you know, you need to love yourself through each season you go through, you know. There's women that have babies, you can't go back to the same person you are, you know. You just have to love and appreciate your body for going through all that and for bringing a life into this world. So that's taught me a lot. So yes, from my pain, thus Lee was born.
We're gonna take a short break again. When you come back, we want to hear what is it that exactly you did to flip your story, to kind of like embrace yourself for who you are. If you would have to talk to someone who's going through that. Let's take a short break again.
The home of inspiration every day.
Most people give up on themselves easily. You know the human spirit is powerful.
From news,
Countries across the globe have been hit by the COVID-19 virus.
views,
There's a global trend to see an increase in GBV incidences, specifically domestic violence.
sports,
Mvusy say it's a really good ball. It's Shabalala.
and music to inspire you every day. This is Vuka Online, your inspiration radio station.
Welcome back, Lee. This is very insightful already within the few minutes that we're talking together. As someone out there is kind of like saying, yo, I feel like the way that she was feeling at the time. What
Mm.
is it? Or what an advice that you would give to someone who is going through that right now? Another young girl out there.
So I am still going through my journey, and what I would say to them is a part of where I think I should have started first was with God, because you are perfect in God's eyes. You are literally made in His image. So I'm even going to inner healing classes now. You know, I've tried the therapy thing. You know, I'd rather now feel like I should heal myself with God's word, and it's really worked. And I feel like, if someone is going through what I went through, I would tell them that not to be fooled by social media, because that was also another influence on me. People are actually so unhappy, and you would think that they are the best thing ever, but you don't know their backstory. You don't
Yeah.
know, I went to Joburg the one time, and I actually told my cousin, I said, this is actually so sad. I went out with her, and I don't drink, mind you, but I was the only
Mm-hmm.
one dancing, and I was having the most fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked around, and all these ladies are sitting there just not happy. But the minute something happens that's video worthy, the phones come out. So it's all just a facade on social media. You just need
Mm-hmm.
to literally love yourself. Look, I stand in the mirror every day, and
Yes.
whatever scars I have, whatever imperfections I have, I tell myself, I love you. I love you. Thank you for keeping me alive. Be kind to yourself. You are literally one in a million. God doesn't make the same two people or the same three people. He makes one of you. Unless you
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow. A lot of, like you are saying, young women at this day and age are influenced by the noise that is happening out there. And
Mm,
what you have just said to us. In fact, you were telling the world, because the Vuka Online Radio is an inspirational radio that has this global outreach. So your story is going to be played throughout the world. And what is happening out there is that we really think what we see on TV
mm,
is probably right. It's the way to go. And what you're saying to us, really love who you are and embrace who you are. Now, can you really talk to us about your business? How you started your business? What are you finding out in the business?
okay. So, what actually sparked my business is I was working for a company, I won't mention any names,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just always, maybe it's the influence my best friend's mother had on me, I don't know. But I don't like to see someone or a woman in that matter being put down. So I used to see the ladies I worked with cry every day, and they just miserable, and they look so, and I don't like that. So if you are unfairly treated, I will be the one to stand up and say, listen, no, that's not how you speak to someone. That's not, and that they didn't like that. So I was like, why am I going to spend the rest of my life doing this when I can just work for myself and eventually employ people and treat them fairly? And I told myself I have a gift. I went to the beauty academy in Johannesburg, and all the money I had saved, I had invested into my studies. And I just started from there. And I tell you, no business experience, nothing. I had some hard lessons, a lot of tears, a lot of late nights. And there were times where I wanted to close my business. But, my clients, guys, my clients, they were like, no, girl, you keep going. Because there were times where I would take 4 to 5 hours to do a lash set, but my clients would stick with me. They'll be like, yes, girl, someday you will do better than this. And really, 2 years later, here I am. I mean, I'm still learning in the business department, but like I said, being an entrepreneur broadens your mind, because there's so many things you can learn, so many things you want to learn. And like I said, I met Judy as well. And when I meet people in business, I get so intrigued. I ask so many questions. I'm like, they probably get tired of me, but I like to ask questions. I'm like, how did you get there?
Yes.
What do you do?
Yes.
And she's very patient with me. She answers everything I have to say. And yeah, I'm still learning. My business is fairly new, but I'm more than willing to stick it out, and not give up and think, that I have to go to the comfort of knowing that I can go and work for a place and I'll have a stable income. But I chose no. I want to stay in my business, continue making people feel good about themselves, and I know I will eventually grow into, beauty and health someday and
Yeah.
help more people like me.
It's inspiring to talk to you. Just before you, I was talking to someone about the what is happening around. We talk about high unemployment, the gender-based violence that is
Mhm.
happening, and how despondent young women are. And all that, and exactly to your point, this company was actually saying, listen, the only thing that will actually instill self-respect and success for young people is entrepreneurship.
Yes, definitely. There's times where I would, like, for instance, my brother is 11 years old,
Mm-hmm,
mind you. I actually feel very proud. He's
mm-hmm,
11 years old, and already he talks about saving, and investing. And I said to him, I was like, what do you know about investing? And he's like, I'm learning, Lily. And I was like, I'm so proud of you, boy. Like, I like to teach him to think for himself. Um,
yes,
and I'm also proud that I can be an example for him, which makes me work even more harder, because I want him to see, like, he mustn't say, oh, my sister works for this company. He must say, my
yes,
sister owns this company, you
yes.
know? And someday I want him to do the same. And not only for him, but for so many other people. There's endless possibilities. And for me, it's not only about the money, it's also about pulling people from my area. For example, I know there's a problem. It's a continuous cycle where they think, we have to go to school, we have to go and study further, or sometimes some people don't get that opportunity, like myself, for instance, and they think, okay, I'm going to go and get a basic paying job, and they stuck in that for 20 years of their life, thinking that that's all there is, but there really isn't. And I would like women in my area to know that there's so much more you can do. If you just find, God gives everybody. You find your gift and you find a purpose for it in this world. And I would like to leave my little footprint somewhere.
I really like that. Just another break, another break. When we come back, I would like you to talk to us about what do you think the qualities are of a successful woman leader like you?
The Africa Center for Work-Based Learning is a professional development center for professionals who aim to improve their professional standing. This means that the learning programs we run are more than just academic programs. They are work-based programs that focus on leveraging your current experience as a professional to build your overall profile. A year down the line, the Africa Center for Work-Based Learning is developing into a preferred center for professional development in Pretoria, with 8 professional development faculties including accounting, teaching, entrepreneurship, as well as IT and many more. For more information, go to acwbl.org or dial +27 12 751 7608. The Africa Center for Work-Based Learning, where work is learning.
Welcome back, Lee. You were still telling us about really how you're navigating the business world. If I would like to start a business now, or then I want or inspire a young woman to start a business, What should I tell that woman to be?
Firstly, it's about your attitude. You must not be someone who gives up easily at all, because entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. You will be challenged every day. And like the ladies that I mentioned earlier, I also met someone in Johannesburg by the name of Carmen.
Mm-hmm.
I used to complain, like, "Oh, I have this problem and I have this problem." And then she used to say, "What is the solution?" You look for a solution in every problem. And now when I'm faced with challenges, I look at it in a space of, what am I learning from this? What is this teaching me? You know? And if you want to be in entrepreneurship, you have to be literally like, how can I say, like Play-Doh. You need to be shaped, because your environment is going to change every day and you need to be able to change with it. And lastly, you must never see other people as competition. Never. There's so many lash techs. I never ever see competition. I just put all my work and my effort into the work that I do. I put my heart into it, and if it's not enough for someone, then that's okay. But for now, everybody that has, maybe started by me and maybe gone to someone else has come back, because they know I put everything into it. Even if it takes 2 3 hours, they come and they sit with me for those 2 3 hours, because they know I'm dedicated. It's not just about the money for me, and it shouldn't be for the next person as well. I mean, it should be, but it shouldn't be there's some people that just do it for the quick money, but it should be something you invested in. And if you want to start a business, it should be something that you are really, really passionate about, or else you will be making so much money, driving a Mercedes Benz, but you are very unhappy. you
Wow.
know so
Wow.
that's the way
Wow.
I look at it now. So I would love people. I always, even people in my life now that have jobs, etc. I always ask them first, "Are you happy?"
Yeah.
Because if you are in
Yeah.
a job that you are unhappy with, you will never be happy. You'll
Mm.
be making all this and have all these things, but you will still not be happy. So I would
Yes.
say, for someone who wants to start a business, do what you love and don't give up on it. You must be open to change, and you must never see the next person as, competition. Rather see what you can learn from them. That's where I think I get that thing from, where I take certain things from people who I meet,
Yes.
because
Yes.
there's a specific type of woman I would like to be. So if I see something in you that would be beneficial for me, then we are definitely going to sit and have a conversation and collaborate.
Mm. Wow. Stay in your lane.
Yes.
That's what I'm taking out of what you're saying.
Yes.
And that when the diamond, when they say the diamond shines out of
Mm.
its flaws. I must embrace the who you are. I really also do like that. We are about to wrap up. I would love to talk to you for a very long time. But before this break, is it possible that you can talk to us about what was the most courageous thing that you had to actually go through, or you have seen a woman going through, someone that was close to you?
I think I would say watching my mom raise me and my siblings alone. That was the most courageous thing I've ever seen anyone do. She did it without complaining, and she's taught my siblings and I to always treat people with respect, never see anyone as beneath us, and never materialize everything. We are just a bunch of happy. Me and my sister actually spoke about it the other day, where we said, we are actually such happy children, and nothing phases us. And it's my mom, and the most, that's like the first. And the second thing is, for me, is having to take on the responsibility to take care of her and my brother. It
Yes.
after after I started my business, my mindset shifted. It no longer became a burden to me. It became a blessing. That now I look at it and I say, thank you, God, that I can actually provide for my mom and provide for my brother. For some people, they look at it as I have to do this again. I have to. But for me,
Yes.
I'm grateful, to see everything she sacrificed for us that I can now give back.
Mm, I am so in love with how you have actually, it's like a child from the community that is raised by the community of women from everywhere, from your household, your friends, and even people that you actually don't know. And it tells a very good story about your foundation and about who you are and the values that you aspire. And you actually do portray even in your business. We're going to take the last break, and after the last break, we are actually going to wrap up.
How do you know the life or personal coach you're about to work with is who they say they are? How do you know if they can do the job? At the Africa Board for Coaching, Consulting and Coaching Psychology, we can tell you. So, before you share your secrets and spend your money, check with us first. Visit www.abccccp.com or call us on 012-751-7608. The ABCCP, the professional body for coaches.
This is the last part of this interview. I never like this last part of this interview. If you would thank one person, one woman in your life right now, who would it be? And what would you say?
Yeah, that is a tough one.
Hmm.
That is a tough one, but I would definitely thank my mother, because literally I would not be here if it wasn't for her. She has raised me to have an open mind, to have a kind heart. So I'm literally here, and she's allowed me to go into the world to meet all these people. She's never discouraged me. So I would really thank her.
Now, give us your last words to the girls out there. As young as you are, I didn't want to divulge your years, but people don't know how young you are.
Thank you. Thank you.
Uh,
Um, to the ladies out there, I would like to say, don't get caught up in the hype of the world.
yes.
Find who you are in this world. Stick
Yes.
to that person no matter what test comes your way, and leave your mark in this world. That's
The home of inspiration every day.
Most people give up on themselves easily. You know the human spirit is powerful.
From news,
Countries across the globe have been hit by the COVID-19 virus.
views,
There's a global trend to see an increase in GBV incidences, specifically domestic violence.
sports,
What's he say? It's a really good ball. It's Shabalala.
and music to inspire you every day.
No more sleeping in
This is Vuka Online, your inspiration radio station.